Hi there guys, morning and welcome to day 15, okay? So we're into our third week now of the lockdown and just want to update you with a few things. I've got a couple of notes just because I need to remember times and things. So the first thing I want to do is just tell you about the pure movement sessions, which are starting tomorrow, okay? So what we've done is we've started off with 3 of these sessions per week, and we're just going to see how we go. I know the Sunday one is already fully booked, but the other 2, there's one on a Wednesday, one on a Friday at the moment where there's still availability. And like I said I think Nikki posted, or I might have said yesterday, if we need to add another 1 or 2 per week, then we will do, So the 3 pure movement sessions are going to be starting from tomorrow, okay? Wednesdays at 12:30 with Russ, Fridays at 11:30 with Mark, and Sundays at 10 a.m. with Asa, okay? Now, each of those sessions, you book in as normal. You book in through MindBody, and then you get the Zoom link and everything. And those sessions are capped at 6 people per session, because that's our kind of semi-private model. So we want to actually be able to interact a bit more with you in those sessions than we can do in a regular kind of a class where you've got more people. So the trainer will see you, you'll see them. They will be cueing, correcting, helping, advising throughout the session. Okay, those sessions will be 40 minutes each. Okay. And the PT sessions, obviously, are just one-to-one that we've been doing. So you can get loads of feedback and loads of communication and loads of advice and things during those sessions. So we've got the one-to-one sessions, which are one-to-one. We've got the pure movement sessions, which is 1 to up to 6, maximum of 6, but it might be 3 or 4. And then we've got the group classes, which obviously at the moment, we can take up to maybe 30 in those. And then they're the 3 ways that we're training you through this period. Now, I want to tell you next about, I'm going to share a link below today, just around personal development, which is it's a concept. I mean, I've been involved with personal development since my kind of mid-20s, really, in a formal way, in terms of reading books like some people call them self-help books or personal development books or professional development books. And I'm going to put a link in the Facebook post below, and there'll be a link in the email if you're watching this on email, linking to a website that Claire Rich has, where it really talks about sort of personal development plans and that sort of thing. Because what I really want to make sure, I know a couple of times in the last few days I've talked about kind of hypnotherapy and that sort of thing, and some people think that's a bit woo-woo and a bit out there and a bit, not necessarily hippie-ish, but a little bit out there and a little bit airy-fairy. But another aspect of it is personal development, and it's actually the ability to learn, to develop, to grow, to set goals, to achieve goals and things like that. So I just wanted to share with you probably the 3 or 4 books that I first read on this subject, going back, like I say, probably 15, 16, 17 years ago now. And I was introduced to this whole thing by a friend of mine called Mark Davies. So I'll give Mark a quick shout out now. And Mark was actually my first ever personal training client when I used to manage the health and fitness provision for Chelmsford Borough Council, and I used to be based at Riverside in Chelmsford. So he was the first ever person I brought on really as a client that I worked one-to-one with. And he used to lend me books and CDs and things like that, and got me started. So the 4 books that I first read, which are real classics, and I will actually put these in the comments underneath here in Facebook and in the email as well. And especially as you've got lots of time at the moment, some of you, I know some of you are working very hard from home still, but if you've got time, it might be worth either getting them on Amazon or you can get them probably on Audible, or you can download them as ebooks now, so you can get started straight away. So the first one, well, the 4 of them kind of in chronological order, if you like, is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, which was written in 1936, which is a really, really great book. Then there was Think and Grow Rich, written by Napoleon Hill in 1937. And there was a quote at the front, on the front of the mezzanine at Unique Results. We used to have a nice passage, a quote from Think and Grow Rich, written by Napoleon Hill back in 1937. And it's not it's a little side story, but I did when Mark got married to Sarah, probably I think it was 10 years ago now. Around, maybe even longer than that, maybe about 10 years ago maybe. I was actually his best man at the wedding, and he gave me a first edition book of this Think and Grow Rich from 1937, which you know, is incredible, and I've got that upstairs, and it's like one of my most prized possessions. Yeah, so you've got 1936, 1937. Then there was an audio recording by a guy called Earl Nightingale in if this is boring, you just fast forward it, yeah, but it might help some of you, okay? There's an audio recording by Earl Nightingale, and I think it was 1957, called The Strangest Secret. Now, he's got an amazing voice. You have to listen to that. It's him talking to you, yeah? And it was in 1957. And he's like one of these old style kind of, sounds like a 1950s newsreader reading you this. It's brilliant. And then that kind of went on, and Rhonda Byrne brought out The Secret probably 15 years ago. But it's basically just Earl Nightingale, The Strangest Secret is the best thing. And then the other one that Mark first got me to read was The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey, which was, I think that was either 1987 or 1989, something like that. So 4 personal development books, okay, which I'd really, really recommend. If you're interested in this sort of thing, be really good to read. Not just for, you know, just for managing your life, and just for getting your helping you to get into the right headspace for the sort of stuff that Claire is going to be doing with us over the next sort of couple of months. Now, I personally am going to be jumping on all the sessions that Claire's doing, because she's helped me a lot in the past as well, which I'll kind of explain in another video. But yeah, I'll be on the session. So I'm recording the interview with her tomorrow at midday. That video will be posted on Thursday, and then next week we're going to start with kind of like an introductory session with her that as many of you want to can jump on. But I'll put those 4 books up. If you have read, maybe if you've read them, because I know some of you run your own businesses and you're quite into this sort of stuff as well. If you've read them, maybe comment below, or you can look at ordering, like I say, on Amazon or Audible or whatever, and that would be really, really good. So, not too much to tell you about today, just the Pure Movement sessions, which start from tomorrow. Book yourself in. Obviously, you can do those if you're a personal training member or if you're a Pure member, okay? And so Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, as said, they're on Mind Body now. And then just the kind of focus on personal development, and just think about that a bit while you've got some time. So I'll post the link to the article all about really explaining what personal development is, and then I'll also post those 4 books, and you can have a little look at those if you're that way inclined. So until tomorrow, take care of yourself, stay safe, stay strong, and I'll catch up with you soon. Take care.